Hey everybody, welcome back to Rebootleggers. This is a comedy podcast where we reboot everything. I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
You can really think of us as like the Backstreet Boys of reboots, but there's
only two of us.
There's just the two of us, and we do not sing.
Actually, this week, Scott, there's four of us.
What a segue. We do have some very special, probably not just special, and our new friends from a podcast called Good Christian Fun, Kevin and Caroline. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Whoa.
thank you.
We just stepped through the door.
Here we are.
Hello.
We don't have last names, but we go by our first.
People know.
So welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for agreeing to help us. So here's that it is, as of the time of this recording, February 13th, which, as we all know, there's a big holiday coming up, and
It's Love's Eve.
I think we could maybe do something exciting for this month of February and really touch into your guys' brand. A market we've never really got into, Frank, is the Christian anything.
Mm-hmm. Pureflix basically runs on a post, and we're here to kind of step up.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not true. We did reboot Touched by an Angel as an anime.
Oh man, we did. Well, this time we're getting into the movie game.
Yeah,
Hell
not
yeah.
as a TV show. So we brought in Kevin and Caroline because they know a lot about Christian things, pop culture, you could call it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to tell us your idea?
Oh, gosh.
Boys,
Pitch it to me.
Gentlemen,
we're feeling real strong about
we
this one.
slaved over this. Oh, wrong month to use that word.
Oh.
We were
jeez.
we were laboring over this for a
Oh.
long while.
We're ready. We feel strong about this one. We have a feeling this is going to have an explosive effect on the box office.
Were you led in any way to?
I think
Oh,
the Spirit led us
yeah,
for sure.
it was like a good amount of prayer time.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I
Kevin
prayed
and
my
I were
brain
on a
time.
private Bible study when this idea occurred to us.
A private Bible study called iMessage.
I don't
And,
think is that Zondervan thing?
Tommy Nelson.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
looking forward to the Eugene Peterson update, though.
oh boy, can gay people get married? I don't know.
I don't know.
But what they can do is see our new hit movie, soon to be in theaters, entitled
Lamb of Wall Street.
I love
Now-
this.
A good amount of the Christian audience may have missed Wolf of Wall Street due to its highly egregious sexual content, not to mention the language and drug use.
Yeah, there's some profanity and drug use.
Oh, I was gonna say which language is it in, but drug use in swears makes more sense.
Light swears.
Yeah.
So we want to bring that story because we think it's powerful and we think God can use anything. So I guess I'll just kind of kick off what I think this is going to be.
Sure.
So we're looking at Jordan Belfort, a Christian man.
Okay.
Yeah.
He works in an office. He's a modest person. He's doing well.
He never unbuttons too many buttons on his shirt. He's very modest. He keeps it pure. And he wants to, honestly, he wants to be a light. He wants to be a witness in the workplace.
He's
however
there
he can.
not just to provide for his family and lead financially, but also to, have a ministry in the workplace.
Spiritually, it's very important to him. And I think it's important for the audience to get that. So at the same time, Jordan is like talking to these Wall Street fellas and brokers and bankers and stock market crashers about like, ooh, it's up, it's down, NASDAQ. Like, we want to talk about NASDAQ, but we also want to talk about NASBA, which is the shortened acronym for the NASB translation of the Bible, New American Standard Bible.
Oh, okay.
So it's like from NASDAQ to NASBA. That's kind of the tagline we're working with right now.
And in his office, there's a lot of worship of Goldman Sachs, or as he likes to call it, the Goldman Calf.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And it's like, where's the Franken Sachs? Where's the Murr Sachs? Why is it just Goldman Sachs?
Frankenman Sachs. Okay. I love all of this. So
Great. Good.
I think we're done, guys.
Is it enough though? Like, do we just take Wolf of Wall Street and make it Christian, or do we, really get, you mentioned, the NASBA, we should really put a Bible in there. A Bible story, probably.
Oh, there's going to be, that's one of our propositions is that there will be at least one Bible in every shot of the movie.
Gotta be.
Right.
It's kind of like Superman
Okay.
in Seinfeld, the sitcom, where it's like, oh, if you look every episode, he's there.
Exactly.
Can
And I
we
think
have a scene where somebody tries to shoot him and the Bible in his pocket saves him from the bullet?
love that.
We're going to get to that. We're
Love
for
that.
sure going to get to
It's
that.
the same Bible that he's been using to minister to other investors.
Oh, it's the one that his dad had in NAM, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man.
And he uses it. He flips it open and just like throws a finger down, and then whatever verse number he lands on is what he takes a bet on in the stock market.
Yeah, and
I think that's how it works.
unlike the original movie, that's the only finger you're going to see in this version, in The Lamb of Wall Street.
No fingers in the rest of the movie. Just a lot of strategic everything placement. Okay. I'm into
Right,
that.
right,
Yeah. But that doesn't mean Jordan doesn't stumble, which, and something that they did in The Wolf of Wall Street that I don't think we'll do here is they didn't spend enough time on his first marriage.
Okay.
You're right. They didn't
Okay.
spend enough first time. Like, was it a godly marriage? Was it a covenant marriage?
Well, it's a godly marriage, but obviously they're going to have some struggles.
There's gonna be some struggles. That-
Yeah, like not doing the dishes.
like Teresa doesn't submit to his authority.
Oh, that's just no. In any good godly marriage, you need that hierarchy of
Right.
authority and submission, and it seems like we really should get into that with this Lamb of Wall
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah, I think that could be kind of a central struggle for him and kind of something that makes him question his faith a little,
Okay.
Yeah.
even.
Because right now we're in the midst of the Jill Soloway era of like top of the patriarchy. But you know what? Let's reinforce the patriarchy. Let's
build it back
cement
up.
it. Let's make a statue in honor and reverence and love and respect of the patriarchy. That's what we hope is, this is a multi-pronged mission of the film, and that's going to be one of those missions. is
Yeah, and
to-
Jordan is not one of those wussy men. You know what I'm talking about? Loves
Yeah.
his lattes.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Too much
Jeez.
foam in his cappuccino,
Yeah,
if you
loves
know
the
what I
frap.
mean.
Uh-huh.
Eats a
So
lot of
he's a
steak.
real man.
Well, some frappuccinos are good, to be fair. Like strawberries and cream, even no whip is
I mean,
really good.
they're really good, and
They're really good.
I assume he's
Very
got like a
delicious.
man cave.
Yeah. Now, this is dicey territory,
Mm-hmm,
okay? We saw this in Fireproof, and I think they did it tastefully, and I think that's something we can do here.
We all saw it in Fireproof.
So,
Everyone listening saw it in
For
Fireproof.
Cameron's Fireproof. Do we think in his man cave, maybe Jordan struggles with a little bit of, I'm going to say cornography, because I don't want to say the real
It
word.
rhymes with cornography.
With the trouser devil. Yeah.
Yeah, the TDs got him by the nuts from time to time.
Yeah, there's gonna be some saucy moments.
I mean, we could do it tasteful. I mean, Kirk
Tasteful.
showed it, he did it right. We could take a page from that book. We just talk about, what do they call it? Just that those pictures on the internet.
Sure. Yeah,
she
that
says
trash.
that trash you look at.
So
Well,
we-
and I even thought, honestly, for my money, Fireproof was a little too suggestive with that. When she said trash, it kind of turned me on a little bit. So what I want to happen is anytime they talk about pornography in this movie is that the screen gets blurry and also they bleep out all of their dialogue.
And they all are wearing a wet blanket.
Right.
But
So
not
it's
a
like
clingy one.
it's too fuzzy, out of focus, wet blankets with like a lot of just like over it the whole time.
I don't know. Is that suggestive, though?
That makes sense. I think that's doable. And because, we don't want to offend anyone. Now, that does raise the question, do we need to... We're going to have to bring this up more into the modern age, right? Because Wolf of Wall Street, they did not have the internet at the time.
Oh, geez. So it's magazines, I guess.
Oh, man.
Probably Cosmo.
Oh, Cosmo.
That porn mag, Cosmopolitan.
Ooh, I know. I think maybe the Sears catalog.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Or, maybe he gets the Victoria's Secret catalog by accident and he doesn't throw it away right away.
Let's all go around in a circle and use an all too specific reference to the kind of magazine that we think he would
Be turned on
use.
What about Better Homes and Gardens?
Highlights?
Sharper Image.
Sharper Image. Yeah, that Sharper Image catalog got him
Do you
stumbling.
think he calls his downstairs area a hammocker schlemmer?
Yes.
Almost definitely.
Yeah,
do
we
think
could
that.
definitely use that.
So are we combining Wolf of Wall Street with Fireproof? Is that what's happening now?
Well, I don't think I want to do that because obviously there's some rights, and PureFlix is a very punitive
They're
organization.
very litigious,
Yes.
as we found out.
What can't sue us is the Bible.
It's public domain.
I would like to incorporate the Bible into this. Now, go with me here. I'm thinking Jordan Belfort is a modern Job.
I
What
mean, listen, Jordan. How do you spell Jordan?
I was about to
Oh my
say
gosh.
this.
Oh,
What's his middle
B
name?
for Belfort.
What's his middle name?
Jordan Belfort. Joe B.
Oswald?
Joe.
His middle name is Owen,
I mean, yeah.
Great.
and a good audience will connect the dots.
Yeah.
That's important.
Jordan Owen Belfort.
Sure. And does everybody call him Job, like as a nickname?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Now, in the story of Job, he has several friends who give him advice that is not godly, we'll say.
Well, and so let's
think-
maybe for people who don't know, like let's start at the beginning of Job. The friends show up later, right?
Right, yes.
Because the point. So Job is. He's like
Job is a
the best
faithful
dude.
man. Yes, he's extremely wealthy. He's doing good. I'm pretty sure he's got multiple wives or at least multiple kids.
so he's cleaning up.
Cleaning up,
Mm-hmm.
drowning in it.
Uh huh. Yeah, I mean that's the part a lot of people don't want to look in the face. That before all that bad stuff happens, Job's neck deep in it, guys. and I think a faithful biblical retelling will include that
I
fact.
think we're going to have that.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, Satan, who will be played by
A woman.
approaches God, who will be played by
A woman, a man.
A man.
This is
do
Two
we,
men.
well, do we want to tap Morgan Freeman?
This is what's weird to me about Job. Like,
Yeah.
God and Satan just hang out in this book, and never again in the
They
Bible.
do.
But they're just
They
like
do. Not
chilling.
since the creation story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Satan tells God,
It's kind of their reunion tour if you think about it.
boys are back.
It's like when Simon and Garfunkel got together again for that Central Park concert. And guys, I'll let you decide which one is which.
Not my Garfunkel.
Hashtag not my Garfunkel.
I almost like to think it's more like to get real nerdy here. It's like a Professor X Magneto thing where it's like they're just hanging out.
I think that is true.
They're
I
just
think that
hanging
is
out
true.
like, hey, we disagree, but like, remember the old times? Remember when you used
Yeah.
to be my dude? And then Satan's like, hey man, I bet you this guy sucks. And God's like, no.
Right?
Truly, that's why I think X-Men is a Christian movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Well, think about it. X-Men, X, Xmas. X is Latin for Christ.
and if you turn across sideways, it becomes an X like in Logan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. No
Oh,
spoilers.
There we go.
There's
Okay.
there is no spoilers, but there is the scene where Logan goes to church. It's like 25 minutes. It's
super-
long.
it's
It has
almost
nothing to do with the rest of the plot.
It's a weirdly long, drawn-out scene. He gets baptized a few times, and
Yeah,
like
just to be sure, he's like again.
for all the times I should have died. Yeah, that checks
Right.
out.
Right. So Satan tells God, you think Job is so faithful. Let's test him. He's going to curse your name. God's like, not my guy, Job. And Satan's like, prove it. And so then he sends a lot of plagues upon Job.
Yeah.
Kills his family, kills
Oh,
his
yeah.
livestock, kills all his stuff. And Job remains faithful.
Hashtag not my guy Job.
So the way we want to translate this to the Lamb of Wall Street is that, like to translate Job losing everything, his house, his family, his children, his livestock. We're going to translate
his
it in the
dingus.
Lamb of Wall Street, his dingus, his bazingus.
It's Beppis.
We're going to translate
His
his
schlemmer.
his schlemazel. We're going to translate it so that some stocks he was investing in go down.
It's just
So that'll be the
Just
one
that.
for one translation.
Can I add a little bit more of a modern
Sure,
flair
sure,
to really
sure.
draw in the youth?
Yeah.
He loses followers on Twitter.
Again, and this is rare for 1981 when this movie takes place. But he does preemptively lose followers on Twitter. And that's kind of a cautionary tale. Like, are you really connecting? Are you just like connecting to yourself in the echo chamber of social media?
Totally.
And we can't wait to
Do
get
we count
into
the
all of
likes
that.
as our wealth?
Yes.
Frank,
Hey, you know who had 12 followers? Jesus. That's all you
Oh.
need, man.
Frank, how's this all sitting with you?
I'm into it. So I think we already touched on something with the Twitter conversation. The original piece, we'll call it a piece,
It's a piece.
takes place in the 80s, and I want to bring this up because I really like the idea that he's trading on some kind of Mad Money like Twitch stream that has followers.
Oh, he's the original Mad Money. He's got his own
Yeah.
cable show.
Well,
Cable
he's-
was a thing in the 80s, right?
Cable was a thing. Maybe he does one of those.
Okay.
Maybe he has to worry
He
about
hosts a cable
ratings like
show?
no one else has to anymore.
Wait, are you saying that you want some sort of like crossover show where he's hosting like the intersection between Mad Money and the 700 Club?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
He's like Jim Kramer
Money
Robertson.
Talks.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe he's kind of a prosperity gospel guy?
Ooh, like a Joel Osteen
Or
type
anti.
or Oral Roberts?
Yeah.
I think he's pro. I think he's a prosperity gospel guy through and through.
How
It's like a TDJ.
does Dave Ramsey not have a show like that? Because if he doesn't, that blows my mind.
I think Dave Ramsey, he has the books, he has the audiobooks. I think he has a radio show, but it's not like a call-in show.
Well, I mean,
He does have a radio show.
Christian culture is about 10 years behind, so he'll get there. He'll be on on
yeah,
Twitch in a
radio
little
just
bit.
came out for
Right.
for a lot of churches.
It is true that still the coolest thing about Christian pop culture is a radio show from 35 years ago called Adventures in Odyssey. So you're not far off.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's go through this. Let's go through some story beats here.
Yeah.
He's a good Christian man, right? So we're gonna have to get. So what do they do instead of all the drugs? Just like go to church and Bible study, but then
Yeah, it's sword drills. So it's like instead of like lines of cocaine, it's lines of little children reciting their favorite verses from the Old Testament. Like Leviticus 11:7 says, "Touching the skin of a dead pig makes one unclean for 7 days."
so they'll have
Like, it's
so
that
he'll
sort
be.
of thing.
We can have a scene where he's like working in his office, and some guy comes in like real excited. He's like, "Come on out, man! We're gonna do some lines in the lobby," and then it turns out it's just like
Yeah.
kids doing Bible verses.
Right. Or
Right.
or they do some kind of a youth group game like Chubby Bunny.
And we all know what Chubby Bunny is, right?
Yeah,
Every one of us.
every one of us got a
We don't
show.
even need to explain it. We all know.
For the listener at home,
got-
though, for the unsaved,
You take the mallow, you shove it in your mouth,
that's right.
and then you shove
That's
more
right.
of them in your mouth. You have to be able to say Chubby Bunny, right? Is that how?
That
Yes.
is the whole.
Yes.
That's the namesake of the game.
Wait, hold on. Is this all real or still joking?
No, this
This
is
is a
real.
real game.
Frank, do you not know Chubby Bunny?
None of this
What?
is joking, Frank.
And the thing that's not funny and I don't want to joke about is that people have died playing Chubby Bunny.
That's
from
true.
choking.
Yeah, it's rough.
So the objective is to fill your mouth with food you don't eat.
Correct. Frank grew up outside the church, so he's not aware of a lot of these
Oh,
things.
Frank, baby, we got so much to catch
Frank,
you up
my
on.
man.
All right, Scott. Next time I visit, I guess we're buying a bunch of.
Oh, it's gonna get freaky.
I mean,
So-
we're going through the Left Behind anthology list right here.
So yeah, Frank. The way it works is you get like the jumbo sized marshmallows, and you start with just one in your mouth, and you all go around, and each time you go around the circle, each person has to be able to say Chubby Bunny, and then you put another marshmallow in, and you keep going until
At least
the person
you're
can't say it.
competing. All right.
Yeah, but
If you do it
gets-
wrong, you die.
You do it because people they like
And you
shove them
die.
in there and they get down their throat. It's gross.
It's messed up.
Ooh, grizzly.
So that's the kind of like crazy antics going on at the office.
Yeah, instead of cocaine, it's Chubby Bunny.
Maybe there's a Chubby Bunny accident.
Oh, there's a Chubby Bunny accident. That's very good, Frank. That really causes.
And then he.
That's where the Jonah Hill
that's
character
the
comes in.
scandal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Played by Josh Gad.
Oh,
Josh Gad playing Jonah Hill playing the guy.
Actually, this brings up an important question that I did want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is with casting.
Yes.
I think an important thing is if we can't get Christians exclusively, we will need to get Republicans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if we can't get Kevin Sorbo, we need Mitch McConnell.
Right. Well, I'm
Scott
thinking
Baio.
along the lines of like to play the Margot Robbie temptress role, we could have Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, that's true. Although she is a Christian.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get both there.
That's a twofer. Yeah.
We could.
Yeah.
Okay, we could get.
We're gonna get Twofer from 30 Rock.
Charlton Heston is God? I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
we'll CGI Chucky Hess.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner's just out automatically from this movie then.
Unfortunately,
I don't.
So
Yeah, a little bit of.
it's not for me to say. It's not for me to say, but I think so.
We can get Scott Baio for sure, maybe.
Oh man,
Easily.
this is shaping up. We have options.
Scott Baio. I like as the Matthew McConaughey kind of like spiritual advisor role to kind of help get him back on track, but maybe also, spoiler, he's Jesus.
Oh, I like
Personified.
this. I like this interpretation.
So instead of that scene where he like hums and beats his chest, he can just like throw himself on the floor and start speaking in tongues, and then be like, "That's just how I start my day. That's just
Yeah.
it just gets me going."
yeah, you know that daily part of Jesus's routine where he throws himself on the floor, and I mean that's in Second Opinions 4, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's-
So we'll
Tons of
definitely
fire,
incorporate that. Yeah.
It makes sense.
We got to really hammer it home too, because one of the biggest things with these reboots for these new target audiences is that you really can't trust them to get things the first time. You have to kind of keep hitting over and over.
You gotta slap him in the face with it.
Well, I was gonna say that's why we're gonna have voiceover constantly throughout the movie. Like you'll be able to hear bits and pieces of the dialogue, but it will be a 2.5-hour monologue, essentially telling you exactly what's happening.
This is the scene.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's
Will
reassuring.
the monologue be
And-
from Scott Baio or from a different from the Lamb? Probably, huh?
It'll be from the Lamb, like, yeah, that's me, the
Yeah.
Lamb. You're probably wondering how I got on Wall Street.
Bah.
That's me. And then he does like little Lamb things.
Yes.
But if there is, and the thing is, and we want to be really conscious of this in the edit, but if there is like a gap in between scenes, we will just have him say, okay, well, the next scene coming up is going to be really, really good. So I can't wait for you to see it. Oh, we're going to be there any second now.
I need
Goodbye.
to set up the next scene for you. It's gonna be
Sure.
rough. You're gonna see some things, and yeah, he just like
Yeah. So the audience never feels abandoned.
You know what I want? I want him to walk in from the side and go, nom, nom, nom. Oh, just eating some grass
Oh, sorry,
here.
fellas. Where was I?
Yeah, me.
Can we have him just like walk in front of the screen at some point? Like we greet like he's in front of a theater showing the movie, and he just like
Like Emperor's New Groove.
yeah, he's like, all
Yeah,
right, I want to
yeah,
point
yeah.
some things out here. This guy here, that's Jesus.
Oh yeah, like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but I like the
He
Emperor's
like
New
John
Groove
Madden.
style
He
better.
draws like an arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know what? That targets a kid audience that I don't think we've really been considering up to this point. So that's a shit ton of money right there.
Is David Spade a Christian?
He should be if he's
he
not.
will be.
We could,
He's one of those Christians for pay.
You think we could? Yeah, you think we could convert him
We can
before
get a
we start
bunch of
filming?
those. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
If the price is right, baby, he's in.
He is, and that it's weird how easily this is translating over. Okay, so Job is just deep in it, which means in this case,
In a good way.
marshmallows and kind, virtuous women who are not interested in his
Kind,
sex for
virtuous
now.
woman, his wife.
Just
right?
the one, but also,
Right.
yeah. I guess Christian men can't be friends with women who aren't their wives, huh?
Oh, not a chance.
Right.
Not a chance.
Well, unless we make that part of his struggle.
Oh,
If he
he's
keeps
got
finding
friends.
himself alone in a room with a woman in a business setting.
yeah. So he just like anytime that happens, he just runs out of the room screaming. He just like starts screaming if he's alone or
Wife.
even the appearance of being alone.
Need a wife?
He has a picture of his wife in his jacket where like every time he's
Right. It's like his phantom thread.
I'm sorry, honey.
And that's another thing we want to address in the casting because, you know, obviously the women who play Jordan's wife in this original movie, Kristen Milotti and Margot Robbie, obviously they're very attractive young women. But
Bazinga.
Bazinga indeed. But we want to be mindful of the fact that they might, for some of the more lustfully minded men in the audience, stumbling blocks. So I propose that not only is Patricia Heaton the only female in the movie, but because she is attractive herself as a woman in her 40s and 50s, that we put a bag over her head for the entirety of the movie.
Would we just have her
It's-
play every female role in the movie and just
Yeah, and we'll
actually-
just draw different faces on the bag. So it's like, oh, now I'm a blonde, and now we won't do multi-ethnic
Well, I
stuff.
think there's confusion too. The sheep is there to kind of point you the right way.
Right. This time she's Jessica, the office secretary. So stuff like that is going to be really helpful for the audience.
That makes sense. She'll just wear.
We
a
can
name
we can
tag.
help clean it up too. So the wife we see her face. We see her bag face.
We
I
see her
think-
bag face.
I think for almost every other woman, it can just be kind of an over-the-shoulder from behind, like man in a wig shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, lest the shape of a shoulder may.
Because we don't want the actors to be tempted either.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually gets back to a really beautiful tradition of men playing women's roles because men didn't have enough to do, like at Shakespeare in the Globe or even in Kids in the Hall, the sketch comedy show.
Now, how does that click with our, is that going to potentially hurt viewership if it gets out to our target audience that a lot of men were dressed in women's clothes for the filming of this? Is that going to alienate those, conservative Christian Republican males?
Well, that's why you have to be very careful with how you shoot those over-the-shoulder scenes. Because, yes, there would be, because unfortunately homophobia and transphobia is such an issue that we will be sure in all of those scenes with over-the-shoulder shots that they're not wearing anything sleeveless, anything that might show a super hairy or super muscular arm.
Or a somewhat feminine pattern. Like, those are out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a pantsuit. So it's like, that's what a woman may wear, but a man may wear it as well.
Yeah. You know how pantsuits are the ultimate unisex uniform.
Well, I do also know
really
that
tight angles. You never see a jawline. Nothing.
No.
there are a lot of white Christian males who take issue with certain women wearing pantsuits. So maybe we just go with
Good point.
just
So I
only
guess
from the
to
shoulders up, I guess.
Scrap the women? I don't know. Are we talking about this, guys?
I'm going to propose that we expand the bag on Patricia Heaton's head to be a full potato sack that she drapes herself in.
Yes. With just a whole woman's body drawn on, but she's like a stick
gender
figure.
neutral sack. Right,
Yeah.
right. And that way, and see, then you get into we can be in a weird way like body posy in that sense. Like we can show, girls of all shapes and sizes.
Girls of bag shape. Girls of
skinnier frame and larger,
Small bag
beautiful,
shape.
voluptuous frame,
Right.
but not too voluptuous. Like
No.
we're not going to draw the you-know-what, if you fellas know what I'm saying.
the bazingas.
No, we're not going to draw the bazingas.
The grape clusters, right?
Right.
Okay, so we'd also, I guess we need everyone. Well, no, I was gonna say we need everyone to sign an NDA, but now we don't because we just got the one bag lady, which is perfect.
Yeah, just one bag lady.
Just
Right.
one bag lady. Okay, so
like Vaughn's right before they close.
Who Jordan loves. So much.
Yeah.
Jordan loves bag ladies. He can't stop talking about his huge, beautiful bag wife just all the time. Which
I'm very proud of her. This is really gonna actually help the budget because in case we can't get someone on set that day, I think you can pretty much just stand up
we
the
could
bag
just
on its own.
we wouldn't even have to pay Patricia to show up. We could just have her, do some voiceover
ADR.
later.
Some VO, yeah.
Yeah, but when she does the VO, we do want to put a bag over her head.
Oh,
just
yeah, you
so
need the
it is
realistic-
muffled and
yes.
realistic sounding because otherwise it's
yeah.
going to take the audience right out of it.
You got to capture that.
Yeah, and that's the attention to detail that we really pride ourselves on here at the NBCW.
And sometimes when women's voices aren't muffled, that it can be like a trigger for men. Like,
Right.
oh, a woman's unvarnished voice.
Right, it's a
I guess
dripping
I'm
faucet.
mayor of Boner Town right now.
I feel disrespected even a little.
Right.
And that is
Right,
somehow
right.
arousing.
I agree.
Which okay, so Job's deep in one wife. I regret that phrasing. And so you said so we talked about God and Satan. What is the setting? What is their new Lamb of Wall Street setting? And is this God separate from Scott Baio, Jesus?
Well, I'd like to think that they're window washers.
Oh, that's
So they're
I
they're
like
kind
that,
of watching
blue
everything.
collar.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking Penthouse Office, but I like this better. That they're kind of like men.
they're just like washing the windows while everyone's in there, and Satan's just like
right, and
They're kind of like they're watching.
they're window washing, but they're window watching as well.
Watch what you wash.
And maybe we're not sure, like, oh, are they invisible to the characters inside or not? Because no one pays attention to window washers.
right, obviously, yeah. So we don't even. That's perfect.
It's a poignant message in the middle of this movie.
Yeah.
And can they always say? Can they always be saying folksy things to each other?
Yeah, they
I
will.
think God talks
They will
folksy.
only talk in aphorisms
Right.
and thumper bumpers to each other.
Well, God did make Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve.
Yeah, and then they high five, and then Satan's like, "No."
Wait, dang it.
Wait, did God not make any of the Steves? Are those from someone else?
No, it's as if to say that God did not create homosexuals. He created only a heterosexual couple.
I like it better if it's saying that nobody named Steve was
There's
made by
no
God.
Steves in this universe.
Or it's just there are Steves, but they are not of God.
Yeah,
That's a valid POV
they're
as well.
vessels of
fellas.
judgment.
So I think maybe God always talks in like the folksy aphorisms. Satan can be like, like a wheeling and dealing snake oil, like probably has some sort of New York accent, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
always
suit
texting.
guy.
We can code it to be super anti-Semitic.
Now, Frank, Frank, I was gonna say that how could he text because it's the 80s, but what if God and Satan had very modern technology because, they're God and
They
Satan?
exist outside of time. That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense
I
to
like
me.
that.
It would take me out of it if they weren't texting.
What if, because they exist outside of time, they're like dressed for a different period literally every time we see them, but they're still washing windows?
Oh,
I
I love
love
that. Like they're
it.
coming out of Grecian times and then they're coming out of the
Yes.
future
Yeah.
and then they've like just gotten back from the 50s. And man, was that fun.
Yeah.
And one of them, God's dressed like Marty McFly from Back to the Future too.
Right. Well, that's when the narrator would say "Back to the Future" because he is, after
Right.
all, the Lamb of God.
He's a fun guy.
He's a fun guy.
So what's the climax?
So-
We won't use climax, but
You can't say climax
as a
in
word,
this
but
movie.
where we go, I mean, what's the big challenge that Job is
Right.
facing?
So Job, he's gonna lose those followers. Is that what we're saying?
I think he's gonna
ratings
lose
and some
followers.
stock
Ratings?
Some stock.
Did we decide whether or not he's in the 80s?
He's losing followers. He's in the 80s. His wife doesn't respect him.
Ooh,
What
that's the
if-
number one sin.
Now, to go back to Kevin's Nasba,
Thank you.
what if he's like he's creating a new translation of the Bible and he's tracking its sales and then it just plummets
Ooh.
maybe.
Oh, I
Okay.
love this. I love this. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So Job's the Bible but he's not a salesman, he's just like
He's a salesman.
yeah, he's rewriting it for the the modern day Christian who's being constantly confronted with those Esquire and Sears catalogs and just in a time where everybody's doing lines in the lobby, where do I get my spiritual fix? And he's
high.
got the Bible that'll do that.
I love it.
Okay, so and then we can have a lot of good background talk of Nasba's up, Nasba's down. We get a good line graph in the background, a lot of jagged peaks and valleys.
Yeah, but then you
Frank,
know
I know
what?
you love line graphs.
If you follow the line graph, it does ultimately turn into a cross.
Yeah, or maybe a Jesus fish.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
So
I
it
like that.
the line,
Kind of like
the linear line loops
Tracks
around.
on
yeah.
itself.
It just goes
Yeah.
wild. Yeah.
So
back
we
in time.
only ever see like a portion of it, and then at the end of the movie, maybe we'll zoom all the way out from the line graph
Hell
and
yeah.
be like,
and needle drop Newsboys.
Yeah.
God's
God's
not
not dead. He is surely alive. Living on the inside, hovering like a lamb. Yes.
It works.
do you think the Newsboys would be interested in just going ahead and
I think they're
doing the
pretty
whole
much down
soundtrack
for
us?
whatever. They're down for whatever, guys.
Yeah,
And from the stories I've heard, they are down for
they
whatever.
certainly are. Yep.
Now, isn't Kevin
Screws
from DC
boys.
Talk their front man now?
That is Michael Tate from DC Talk. That's
Michael
their
Tate, that's
frontman
right.
now,
Kevin's
yeah.
doing Audio Adrenaline now, right?
Kevin did do Audio Adrenaline for like 3 years, and then he left.
He's got to set on his own. Okay, so we get just a good new. Frank, are you familiar with the Newsboys?
Yeah. I there was some misrepresentation. I think I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up necessarily in the church, but when I was like 14, we got all into it with my mom.
Oh,
Oh, so you know all
Yeah,
about
I know.
those entertaining
I've seen
angels.
Newsboys at You guys know the Creation Festival up in the mountains in PA?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I used to go there every year, and there was this crazy part where they get the old drummer guy, the one like the not the whatever current one, where he like
Yeah.
gets on this
the
riser and
Peter
then the drums.
Furler. And then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
rotate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they start rotating, and it's unreal,
That
Oh,
was their
wow.
version of moonwalking.
basically.
Yeah.
Dang.
Isn't that a Blue Man Group thing where they like rotated and out on the drums?
No, I don't think so. I think Newsboys did it first.
Newsboys definitely invented it. And then the Blue Man Group, they did it, but Newsboys was like, we can't sue them because that's not right.
You know, I have also seen the Blue Man Group do Chubby Bunnies.
Oh yeah.
That's so
I be-
super
Sounds like we're
magical.
just-
I believe
I
that.
love that. These guys are.
So
these
we're
guys
gonna
are
lock down
crazy.
Newsboys for the soundtrack.
And then we'll get the Blue Man Group for the Chubby Bunny scene. Probably.
Yeah, and that'll be funny because well, I don't know. Will they let us film them when they're not blue?
Oh, they'll be blue, Frank.
They'll be blue. We're just gonna
I'm
do
not-
it.
I'm not comfortable with having the Blue Man Group unless there's a way that they can silently indicate that they are also believers. So maybe they,
That they are-
cross themselves, or they do a
Mhm.
little like a prayer with their hands.
They kick off their
What if they're-
shoes and they draw the fish in the sand.
yeah, like
Oh, like the old-timey Christians. What if they're angels? What if angels are the
Oh
Blue
my
Man
gosh,
Group in this
yes.
universe?
Now the thing is, and maybe this is just a personal conviction, but I find oftentimes the Blue Men Group to be pretty hot. And again, that might be a
You don't wanna
stumbling block
trigger
for a
anybody.
lot of So
is it all the pipe play?
yeah, it is. The way that they're just banging on those pipes. It really does something to me.
Throwing marshmallows into each other's mouth.
I mean, guys, it's like what is this? 50 Shades of Grey we're reading right now? Yes, yes, all those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
50 Shades of Blue.
Yeah,
Come on.
exact. Thank you.
Ooh.
So we'll have the blue hands will be enough.
Blue hands, bags on heads.
Everyone will know
Yeah.
what that is.
Right.
Wings? Do we put wings on them, or do we just
Slick blue
light them
wings.
like touched by an angel?
Oh, we put wings on them, and we just to make sure we have our narrator Lamb just say out loud, "These are angels," just in case.
now,
These are
I'm a
angels.
little rusty on my Job. Is there a scene in Job where angels happen?
Gosh, not that I
There is now,
recall.
baby.
Yeah,
What if... Perfect. Now...
Satan
Okay,
is
so
an angel, a
Job's-
fallen angel.
Hey,
but
so technically.
that's not what we're talking
Oh,
about.
is he going to be blue?
Well, you're going to see that, like, there's traces of, like, blue paint on him still. Like, he was an angel.
We'll go a George. We'll do a George Senior Tobias thing.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. That's perfect. Okay, so what happens to the Bible sales? People stop buying the Bible. God makes the Bible go away to test Job.
There's-
'Cause
Yeah.
the whole point of this, right, is that
There's
God
a-
is testing Job.
There's a
He's-
typo that accidentally invalidates John 3:16 in the new Bible.
Oh, jeez.
It
says-
says, "For God so didn't love the world."
For God so loved the world not, is what it,
It just
says.
ends with
Ah.
not.
If somebody's reading it, they're like, "Hey, I just noticed this says God so loathed the world."
He was just kidding. He didn't love us at all.
Right.
I like the idea that it's just like a one-letter typo and it just ruins the whole
It
thing.
rocks them. Well, people study this stuff real up close and personal, letter by letter, line by line. So
Right.
one typo could rock a Calvinist bro to his core.
Right. So not only God turns his face from Job, but also many Calvinists and sales plummet, and Job turns to his office.
Does his wife leave him?
His
Well, no,
wife
divorces
decided
him.
to get a part-time job.
Oh, that is the ultimate nail in the
Right.
coffin. for
Which
any
might as
good
well
Christian
be
man.
leaving him.
You might as well be
Right.
killing their kids.
Because then he's not the one support. He's not pulling in the
bacon.
the money, the bacon
Right.
money.
Yeah,
Right.
so she makes him a super beta cuck when he sees her big giant sackcloth on the floor, and he's like, "Oh damn, I think my smoking hot bride got a job and has
Right.
like her own autonomy." And that's when he feels
man.
betrayed. And that's really that's gonna be our real Act 2 moment of all is lost, all is hopeless.
Yeah, maybe he's kind of walking with his head down
Mhm.
Wall Street, kind of kicking a can.
Sad Charlie
We
Brown
can have a
song
scene
for
where
sure.
so him and his wife are out at dinner, and then the waiter brings the little
oh.
check folio. No. The waiter brings the little check folio and puts it in front
Yes.
of him,
Yeah.
and then he
And
puts his head down
oh.
and like slides the leather folio over to his wife.
I love that.
And the waiter is just scandalized.
yeah.
The waiter
wa-
faints and dies from seeing that because of the times, because
and
it's the 80s.
Is his
La-
ghost with Lammy in the narration?
Yeah, and Lammy is just like, "Don't worry, kids. This is just pretend. He didn't really die."
Yeah, this is the middle scene of Emperor's New Groove when he's like, "Yeah, this is rough."
Are we rebooting Wolf of Wall Street or Emperor's New Groove?
It's both, because he does step in front of the screen a few times like Emperor's New Groove, and he talks about what's going on.
Oh, can we have a part where they're outside? Like the characters
Yes.
are outside in the movie, and then Lammy walks on screen and goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought it was grass that I could eat, but it's in the movie."
I love that.
We could do that with Caroline's idea where we hear him eating. Instead, it's just like we see half of him eating a sandwich at the edge of the frame for like a minute and a half
Love
before he
that.
notices and just
This is actually
slides out.
Oops.
This is actually an interesting thing that we kind of brought up, is that I think with today's modern audiences, we have to be very, very careful that we don't ever let them feel sad for more than like 1 second before we put a joke in.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sad
we
is
wanna have,
bad.
like, kind of a positive effect.
Sad is
So,
bad.
so-
Happy makes me fappy. That's what we live by.
Now we can't say fappy in this though.
Right.
Job finds out he's poor. Job gets crushed, but then on the second movie that's happening on top of the first movie, Lammy slips on a banana peel.
When did we start calling him Lammy? I'm not opposed to it. I'm just wondering when that
It just
shift
kind
happened, 'cause I missed
of it just happened.
Okay, Lammy. Now Lammy is Job, right?
Yeah, is Lammy kind of like his avatar, or is Lammy outside the narrative?
His name's Lammy Kravitz.
Lammy Kravitz. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Oh, and he's got like a bow tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And his little lamb dick almost comes out at one point. At a concert.
you guys remember the show Lamb Chop? That wasn't a Christian show, was it?
I watched Lamb Chop.
It felt Christian, didn't
yeah,
it?
it's a
did.
Christian vibe.
I don't know that it was.
No, Lamb Chop definitely went to hell.
What?
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry.
It's a girl.
I mean, she didn't make it in Chris Rice's song, so she did.
No. Well, no, Lamb Chop was a boy. Sherry was the girl. No,
Yeah.
Lamb
Lamb Chop was a boy?
Oh, yeah. I'm almost certain.
Is Lamb Chop a boy?
Hang on, everybody. Take a break from writing. We got to get to the bottom of this.
6-year-old girl.
Well,
Bam.
Shut it.
that might be a testament to my own progressiveness that I didn't gender her correctly.
You did gender.
Kevin doesn't see gender.
I try not
He
to.
very much did. He said she was a boy.
Oh, that's true.
I did think the
You
lady
said she
that
was
did
boy.
look like she looks like Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
She
A little bit.
All right.
I like to think that Lamb Chop is what Lucy Ricardo would have done with fame. It was like, I just want to do puppets and shit. Oh, all right. You can have a puppet show. It's weird.
Okay, so there is a scene in the book of Job that I want to... It's not so much a scene, more just a passing reference, but I do know that Christians love to use this. And there is a part where Job mentions Behemoth and Leviathan, and everyone says that's how we know that dinosaurs were alive during that time.
Correct.
So,
Obviously.
do we have dinosaurs in this movie?
I mean, I think we have to.
Is it a little lizard though? Or is that kind of, and he calls it, oh, hey, Leviathan. Like that's his lizard
Does
pet.
he have... So he just got like a pet iguana and he calls it Leviathan?
Damn.
I think that's a good nod to the story.
And then he can like wink at the camera.
And then his dog is Behemoth, and it's like a
Yeah.
boxer. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like Dino, like
I want
Dino.
this. Yeah, this movie should be
I
subtle.
think
Dino.
it's Dino.
It's Dino.
I'm getting them confused with the Christian piano player.
Dido?
No, there's a Christian piano player named Dino. Look it
That
up.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Can we get him?
I think he died, but I think we can get him.
Could we CG him?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
like
do
Carrie
things
Fisher
through
in
Christ
Rogue
who
One.
strengthens
Yeah, they have holograms for everything now.
Yeah.
We can just hologram him in and oh no, he's still alive. He's 75 years old. We'll just get him.
Oh, he's in.
I mean, that's not really relevant to the plot. He's got a lizard and a dog, and do they talk? They don't talk.
They talk to Lammy.
It might be his conscience.
He is Lammy. Job is the Lamb of Wall Street.
No, but
Are
there's
we saying?
there's-
So wait, is Lammy the narrator version of Job?
yes.
Okay.
Lammy
Yes.
is the movie on top of the movie
Okay.
that makes sure you're not sad.
Yeah, we're getting meta, but again, Lammy's gonna explain this, so it's super
Yeah.
easy to digest.
We're gonna lean really hard on Lammy for most.
That
So
used
hard.
to be me. Okay, that's perfect. So then also going back to now in Job, he does get he does. I don't want to get too blue, but he does get his Beppis ruined, right?
His Beppis?
his
his
wiener?
His ding dong?
his
Yeah.
bathing suit zone.
It does get ruined. His zone gets ruined,
Guys,
right?
I do not remember this.
I don't remember it either, and I feel like for the audience that we want, that it's gonna be real tough to.
So what I was going to say, it's not necessarily that we have to directly ruin it. We can just make a reference to the fact that his wife is now the caretaker, that she had somehow taken it from him. You know, really get into that analogy that men love so much.
Oh sure.
Okay, yeah. So maybe she's got some kind of box, and she's like, "Well, ever since you know what went into my box or didn't."
Now, can she say box in that way? Because
Yeah, I forgot
for some
about
people
that.
that's going to be a
Forgot
trigger.
about her chest. Nope, that's not it.
Oh no, that's just as bad. That's worse.
just as bad.
Tupperware.
Tupperware is good.
The Rubbermaid.
Nope.
No,
Can't do that.
Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Wow.
She could call it the cucky jar.
Did she say? Does at one point she mean-spiritedly say, "What, you want to go to Cucky Cheese?"
Yeah, cucky cheese,
Oh,
cucky
no.
cheeses.
So Job's wife does get really mean to him in the original, in the sourch content.
Yeah, she's the
So
original
maybe-
nag.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a feminazi.
Oh, she nags the hell out of
Yeah.
him. She's okay. So there's also, we need to just talk about specifically which interpretation we're going for, because there's the one interpretation of Job that is, look, see, everything bad happens for a reason, but then there's the other interpretation of Job that's like, no, bad shit happens and there's no reason. So what are we going for here?
Anything that's bad is only temporary, and then a lot of good stuff happens.
Then a lot of good.
And
God will give you
the
more
Bible
money.
wants you to be rich, and
Yeah,
you're gonna be
yeah.
rich.
Whatever bad stuff happens to you, a good thing is going to happen. That's the opposite of it, and it's going to be twice as good as the bad thing was bad. That's the message I want people to leave the theater with. And so, if there's anything going on in your life that's messed up, it's just like, just wait it out, and just like keep anticipating and hoping that something 2 or 3 times as good is going to happen.
Right.
So then I guess sales will just pick back up. I assume we'll have a...
we're skipping when Job's friends also.
Oh, yeah,
come.
give me those friends. Talk to me about those friends. Who do we get? We got Josh Gad as Jonah Hill as that guy.
Right.
For this, I want to propose a clump situation where Josh Gad plays 4 or 5 of his different friends.
In a large suit.
Well, it doesn't need to be that large.
Sometimes in a large suit, sometimes in a skinny suit. That makes sense.
Yeah, and we can de-weight Gad in post.
Oh yeah.
Can we
Judge?
have a scene
Who
where
cares?
Job's wife gets to like be in a room with a bunch of other wives, but they are all Josh Gad in a potato bag?
Well, again, we don't want to mess up the female dynamic, but yeah.
But that would work.
If,
because he's not a
okay,
female.
yeah. If it's potato
Yeah,
sex,
so maybe
sure,
they're in some
sure,
kind
sure,
of
sure,
sewing
sure.
circle.
Yeah, they'll spend the whole time, of course, talking about their husbands and
Yeah.
men just doing things that.
Kind of classic,
What
like,
is-
my husband never, my husband nag.
And they could all treat Job's wife a little weird for earning money.
Right. They challenge her on that. And that is how the wife character does get redeemed.
She
She
makes
quits,
sense.
right? Her job.
She quits her job, and they say, "Well, how will you eat?" And she's like,
Who cares?
Lammy's got it.
Lana.
Who cares?
You know what?
Yeah.
Lammy's got me taken care
No,
of.
people inside the movie don't say Lammy, Scott.
Sorry. Maybe they say something about how like
We've added a complex layer to the whole proceeding, but I welcome it.
is there something about maybe I want some sort of quip about how like the Bible is the only food or something, like some sort of good
Yeah.
thumper bumper having to do with the food, but also applies to his Bible
It's
sales.
like, what will
Just
your
like,
children
sorry,
eat if you quit your
lady.
job? And then she says the word of the Lord our God, and like puts her hand on the Bible.
Yeah. She says, heard of the bread of life.
Does she say something about like you're not sustained by bread alone? Does she just
Ooh.
quote Jesus?
They're eating
right
breadsticks
there?
at the Olive Garden
Right.
because we need
the Olive
sponsors.
Garden.
But then she does say, eating ain't cheating. And
She did.
yeah, and that's to say, like, don't worry, I'm not threatened by how much time you spend in the word and eating of the bread of life. Eating ain't cheating.
Perfect.
I don't
now,
feel
Frank,
that abandoned
Mm-hmm.
by you because of that.
that's perfect. Now, Frank, I do admire your ambition at getting Olive Garden for a sponsor, but I think it's a lot more realistic if they're at a Chick-fil-A.
Yes, I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
how there
No,
would be any
yeah.
other kind of food in the movie.
I mean,
honestly.
excuse the phrase, but Chick-fil-A is a whore for Christian
yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
And I'm a whore for Chick-fil-A, so it all works out.
It's perfect.
So they've got a bowl of just the nugget breading.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just the breading.
I hope they call it the bread of life.
The breading of
Oh.
life. The breading
That's
of life.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so then his friends are mean to him, and he's like, "Come on, man." Is he getting bullied, or is he just?
I think each Josh Gad tries to get him to do a different of all the sins that there are.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So like
What did-
one Josh Gad is like, come with me. Well, we can't make him go to a strip club. Is like,
no, but we
come,
can make him.
come with me to the magazine aisle. I have
Right.
magazines to show you.
And then another Josh Gad is like, I got you 7 cakes. Why don't you eat them right now?
Before I do.
And Lemmy says, gluttony. And then the other Josh Gad says, oh, don't you want to take a nap?
Yeah, so
Oh.
it's the 7 deadly gads.
Yeah. We just go.
Yeah, the other one's just like, "Hey, don't you just want to get real mad right now?
Yeah.
Don't you?" with an accent for some reason.
And Lammy is naming them as they go, just
Yeah.
to keep everyone
Slop.
straight.
Yeah.
What if you got greedy right now, buddy?
He just straight up says, what if you got greedy?
Hey, what if you lusted after me, fella?
Envy's gonna be tough.
Envy are greed and envy two separate sins? They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, sometimes greed causes envy, and envy causes
Yeah. So
greed.
I mean, maybe greed and envy are a tag team. He's like, "What if you got greedy? Hey, look at that guy's stuff."
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Or maybe they're twins, which would really work.
Kind of a
Perfect.
Tweedledee
They have this-
Tweedledum.
Yeah, they're wearing the same overalls. That's perfect.
Tweedle greed, Tweedle grub.
Love that.
That
Mm.
works. That's nice. Now, is there an anti Chick-fil-A in the real world? Could that be the food they try to get him? I honestly have no idea.
Hooters.
Anti-chick.
Yeah, Hooters seems morally opposed to
Or just,
Chick-fil-A.
like,
Can
Deviled eggs.
we say Hooters in this movie though?
No.
We'll bleep it out and blur the screen when we say it.
Yeah.
Any scene
just
that
show-
takes place there, we'll blur it out.
Yeah.
We'll
And-
just show a couple barn owls the whole time.
Yeah, they're like, let's go to Scooters if you guys know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I assume he does say no to all of them, and then the scene that we're all, I think, that the audience is going to be most looking forward to is when Job finally gets to talk to God, right? And he does shout at him a little bit, and God just slaps him.
Yeah, and he says, chill out, bro. I'm going to do a lot of good stuff for you now. And then that's when Bible sales go up, and then they do a conga line in the office.
I do like the idea of Bible sales going up because now kind of a bread-based cult because of the loaves it has formed, and so it's really taking off.
thing the whole time.
Yeah. And so they're buying those like hotcakes.
They start literal hotcakes. They start selling.
Right.
The Bible starts shipping,
Hotcakes.
but they're breaded in Chick-fil-A
Oh my
breading.
gosh, this is great,
This is so good.
hot cake. Hot, literally.
But they're made of Chick-fil-A breading.
guys. I'll tell you what, I'm getting hungry.
Same.
So I think there's one more key component too. We need that we told you so Schadenfreude scene where God rebukes Job's friends.
Yes, his friends need to.
Or we get to feel righteous because we
How about this?
with the movie we didn't break either.
I've got it. All his friends go to leave, and they step in the elevator. And who's the elevator attendant? It's Satan, and he says, "Going down," and then that's it.
But he's in like a disco outfit because he just came from the 70s.
Yes, he's got a fro, and he's wearing roller skates.
And he is white, but he has a fro.
Yeah. Okay,
Going down.
that is good.
That's hilarious.
And then he like winks at the camera, and then Lammy pops in, and he's like, "Yeah, you get what's going on here."
Yeah, he's like, you don't need me.
Hell is where they're going.
Yeah, he says, "You don't need me. You know what's going on." And he steps off, but then he does pop back, and he's like, "It's hell. They're going to hell."
Yeah, just to be clear. But then once the movie ends, and I think that would be a very fitting ending, but once the movie ends, I want it to cut to black, and then there's just, I would say 15 to 25 minutes of Lammy just giving an altar call. And it's just a pure black screen. But Lammy's just like, guys, now they went to hell, but you don't have to.
We saw a lot of stuff here today.
Hi, I'm Lammy.
If
Yeah,
you-
he kind of breaks the lamb's fourth
The
wall.
lamb barrier.
Yeah.
I'm Scott Baio. Wait, is this Scott Baio? Is Scott Baio the wolf, the Lamb of Wall Street? Or
I thought
he
we
was
made
originally going
Scott
to be
Baio.
Jesus. Is Jesus still in this movie?
all throughout, but never explicitly called out. But he's in every
Right.
in every frame.
Right.
He's just always like standing like he's on a cross.
He's
and
like
stuff.
wiping a
Ah.
counter. He's like
Well,
building
building
a
chairs.
coffee.
He's always building chairs.
Well, Jesus
He's a
wasn't in the
carpenter.
original Old Testament story, but
That is true.
hey, they don't call it a reboot for nothing, fellas, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, he just did our job for us.
I mean, the New Testament is the ultimate reboot, right?
That
Yeah,
is
that's
true.
Jesus
Guys, is that a
rebooting
tagline?
the.
I don't know. I think that is.
So we could say the New Testament was the first reboot, and this is the next one.
Hell yeah,
The new Old Testament.
the new
We'll
Old Testament.
workshop it a little bit. We'll get a focus group. But I want to get back to the altar call. I like this idea. We can get like, we'll get like elders in every theater, and he can say like, if the elders would please just come to the front, and just get them up there. They'll have. Could we do a foot washing? That was a thing.
We could do maybe a past communion with popcorn.
Will we pass a collection plate at any point during this movie?
Yeah. I honestly, because I am gonna need to get some dollars off of this.
And I think so. Then I think then at the end, Lammy says, "On your way out, if you'd like, you can purchase one of our Chick-fil-A Bibles, and we do manufacture the chicken breading Bibles, and we sell those."
The chicken bread of life. I love it. Because Chick-fil-A
perfect.
weirdly doesn't have a Bible yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
Yeah, I think we could work manna into it somehow.
Right.
The title of it, but
Are you a man of God?
Nailed it.
have we talked about who's playing the lamb? This is, I think, it's
Let's all
this is the
say it
last
on the
thing.
count of three. I think we all have the same man in mind. 1, 2, 3.
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron.
Yes, Kirk Cameron. I was gonna say that.
I said it too. I said Kirk
We all
Cameron.
said it at the
No,
same
that's
time.
We all said it.
No one does an altar call like Kirk, honestly.
Because here's the ultimate kind of turnaround here. If Kirk Cameron's in our movie, he can't sue us.
Right.
Why would he sue us? He doesn't own the Bible.
Yeah, that's movie clause
Right.
101.
Right.
Now, okay, so and then the last thing I want to talk about, who do we trust to direct this?
Kirk Cameron.
Cameron. Yeah. I mean, have you seen Saving Christmas?
I would not. Yeah, that's fine.
I would
Well,
say
just pray about it.
I would say either Kirk Cameron or Paul Thomas Anderson.
PTA.
Yeah.
That's very.
This feels
Okay.
up his alley.
All right, I mean, that's a movie there.
That's
right?
a movie.
That's
a
a
movie.
wrap.
We did it.
Whew, I'm tired.
It's a lot of work coming
really
up
put
with
myself
these,
out
with
on
these
there.
reboots.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're going to end there. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. If you like the show, please give us a good rating, preferably on Apple Podcasts. And
You seem unsure.
yeah, just anything would be nice. And
Well, not anything. A 1-star review wouldn't be nice.
You know, they're talking about it.
Okay,
They're-
no such thing as bad press. Gotcha.
No such thing as bad press. We are on Spotify now, and basically anywhere you want to find podcasts, you can find us. And tell a friend. You can listen to Kevin and Caroline's podcast, Good Christian Fun. Also, anywhere you find podcasts. You guys have a website and a Twitter.
Well, sir, our Twitter is Christian Fun Pod, at Christian Fun Pod on Twitter. Instagram, you can check out the website, goodchristianfun.com.
Frank, we should get an Instagram.
Yeah, we should.
Do
and
photoshops
so
of all the posters.
Got to show off my beach bod.
Hell yeah.
So, Kevin and Caroline, we usually end the show by providing our listeners with a password so that they can get in next week. Would you guys want to give us our password for next week?
Oh.
I think we know what it's gonna be,
There's only one thing here.
and it's
The password is
play those pipes. Don't be sad.
and welcome to the stage, Joshua Gad.